Tuesday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Filipinos in Sudan are now advised to leave the country as the United Nations warns of a possible full-scale civil war. The Philippine Embassy in Cairo, which has jurisdiction over Sudan, advises those who wish to leave the country to provide their name, contact number, and a copy of their passport. They also must report if they are in possession of a valid passport and to state the reason if they are not. If evacuating through Egypt, they must comply with the standing order of applying entry visas in advance. Those given a temporary entry must depart Egypt at the earliest opportunity, with repatriation arrangements to be made by the embassy. Meanwhile, those who will go through Port Sudan should also inform the embassy in advance and bring at least 10 days worth of cash to cover their needs while they wait to be evacuated. Those who want to stay in Sudan are asked to inform the embassy as well. Aside from their personal details, they must also provide their location in Sudan and be in possession of their valid passport. Filipinos in Sudan are urged to contact the embassy in Cairo through the contact details flashed on your screens. Filipinos had already been repatriated since the violence in Sudan restarted earlier this year. The fighting has since escalated in recent days. Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel calls on President Bongbong Marcos to address the water shortage in his upcoming State of the Nation address. Pimentel emphasized the urgent need to address the water crisis as well as the impact of the El Niño phenomenon, especially on agriculture. Pimentel says past droughts and water crisis have taken a toll on the economy and public health. Meanwhile, Manila customers are bracing for water interruptions starting this week. This as water allocation for concessionaires dam has been cut to 48 cubic meters per second after water at the Angat Dam hit their critical level. Several barangays in Quezon City, Manila, Caloocan, Malabon, Navotas, and Valenzuela will be experiencing water interruptions from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. For those living far away from service areas, service interruptions could last for another 2 hours. Manila still can't say how long the interruptions will last, but in their defense, it will not be as bad as the 14 to 16-hour water interruptions back in April.
And hopefully, ito pong gagawin nating interruption ay mas mapaiksi pa natin sa actual implementation. Talaga ang iniiwasan namin mangyari na merong single customer na 24 hours siyang walang tubig.
Senator Grace Poe earlier asked the MWSS to take action against Maynilad over water service interruptions brought about by lower allocation. For Poe, it was unacceptable for over 500,000 customers to be hit by longer service interruptions. The Health Department warns of different diseases or illnesses that the public may contract or may easily spread amid the onset of the El Niño phenomenon. The DOH says cases of dengue usually spike during dry seasons like the El Niño. In fact, the agency has already tallied nearly 68,000 dengue cases so far in the country. The DOH warns that the country may see more dengue cases once Filipinos start storing water for the dry season, as this would give mosquitoes more places to nest. Aside from dengue, the DOH also warned the public of diseases they may contract from contaminated water sources, among them cholera and diarrhea.
Pag El Niño kasi, ang tendency ng mga tao ay mag-igib ng tubig. So marami tayong water containers na yun ang magiging breeding places ng mga lamok. Maaring hindi safe yung water source po nila. So contaminated water supply. So babantayan din po yan ng kagwanan ng kalusugan.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. The Transportation Department announces that the target completion for the Metro Manila subway project has been moved again. The agency scrapped its earlier plan of starting the partial operations of the subway's Valenzuela, Tandansora, and North Avenue stations by 2027. Passengers will now have to wait 6 more years or until 2029 before the subway will be open to the public. Construction of the project is now seen to be completed by 2028. On Monday, transport officials showed the progress of the subway project in Valenzuela. The 33-kilometer underground rail is 33% complete. The subway will have a total of 17 stations, which could serve over 500,000 passengers daily.
Kasi kung magpa-partial operability tayo hanggang a certain station, hindi naman natin siya, parang hindi siya optimized, no, for our passengers, di ba? So, it would be best na we just operate it pagka buo na.
The Immigration Bureau says the woman off-boarded from her flight to Taiwan was suspected of intending to work abroad rather than merely visiting the country. BI spokesperson Dana Sandoval told The Big Story that the passenger's purpose did not match the documents she showed. This is why she had to undergo a second interview. The woman earlier claimed that she was asked to present 10 birth certificates of her ancestors.
When we saw the initial report on the matter, the commissioner saw that the passenger's purpose really did not match the documents that she was showing. When she presented herself for immigration inspection, she claimed that she was a tourist bound to Taiwan, but during the interview, the immigration officer saw evidence that she is planning to work abroad.
Sandoval, however, claimed that most travelers don't need to go through lengthy immigration screening. That's if they don't raise red flags in the eyes of the immigration officer.
Not everyone is being asked additional questions. What immigration officers look out for are red flags, meaning inconsistencies under documentation and under purpose of travel. That is the trigger for the immigration officer to ask further questions, see the entire picture of the circumstances of the travel.
Meralco consumers can look forward to a relief as the power distributor announces a reduction in rates. Meralco said it lowered power rates to consumers by at least 72 centavos per kilowatt hour. This would translate to about 144 peso decrease in the total electricity bill of customers consuming 200 kilowatt hours. The power company attributed these to several factors, including the reductions on generation charge, as well as the lower demand from the wholesale electricity spot market or WESM. But Meralco warns that El Niño could affect power rates. However, there are still no indications on upward pressure as supplies are so far sufficient.
The biggest driver of the reduction was the wholesale electricity spot market or WESM with an energy share of 15%. Yung pagbaba po niya ay nasa 2 pesos and 66 centavos, rounding it off. IPPs o yung pong aming mga legacy contracts, 37% po yung energy share, 47 centavos po, rounded off ang reduction.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us again at 10:30 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News, all sides, all the time.